Hey everybody, KSquared here, and today, this is not Minecraft, this is NBA 2K13. What are we doing? Starting an association, of course. Who are we starting it with? Well, I'll let you see that in a second. I just got done moving. I moved in with my cousin. We're gonna do videos more often now. Well, I am. And there's really not much else I can say about that. So right here you can see that there's the team. We're using the Rockets, and with this association I'm not planning to completely rebuild them, but I'm going to try and build a championship caliber team using the pieces that they have. And what I'm going to do, or what I plan to do at least, is to, like in real life, get Dwight Howard. This might take 2 to 3 years, but you know, there's a lot of good pieces on this team to where I think that the Rockets could end up winning the championship as soon as they pick up Dwight Howard. And I also just might go after Josh Smith. And for the next couple minutes, you're gonna see just a bunch of trades and one signing that I made. And I also make a trade right at the end of the video. And while the gameplay's going, I'm gonna end up talking about just the trades I made and why I made them. But a couple players that I try and want to keep is James Harden, Chandler Parsons, Thomas Robinson, and Monty Eunice, or I don't even know how to spell the name. So my plan is for this first season, I'm not going to play many games. I'm going to do maybe one a month, one every 2 months. But after this first off season, I'll start playing one game each calendar month on the year. Alright, so I'm just going to start talking about the trades. The first move that you saw was Aaron Brooks and Omer Asik and it's Asik, not Ashik, Asik, for Nikola Pekovic. In real life, you saw that Asik didn't want to play behind Dwight Howard. So instead of getting into that controversy, I'm going to trade away Asik, or I already did trade away Asik, and I got rid of Asik and Brooks for Pekovic, because Asik he's a decent player, and he's not worth his $25 million contract. Asik and Pekovic have a similar playstyle, but Pekovic is much better. Pekovic is on an expiring contract, which helps out with our big run in free agency this year. And of course, like I said, Asik wouldn't want to back up D12. And even if he did back up Dwight Howard, he's not worth the $10 million that he's owed next year coming off the bench. We also traded away Aaron Brooks in that trade. He was basically just added for value because Asik was only 1 star and Brooks was 2.5. But it's good to get rid of Aaron Brooks because we have two young point guards already who need playing time in Jeremy Lin and Patrick Beverly. So getting rid of Brooks is only going to free up some playing time. The next move that we made was a big one. It was Greg Smith, Terrence Jones, Carlos Delfino, and our 2013 second-round pick for Mike Miller, Birdman, and a first-round pick in 2014 from the Heat. Now, the reason I made this trade was because we had way too many power forwards. I think if you go on the 2K rosters right now, the Rockets have 6 power forwards. That's more than you can count on one hand, because you only have 5 on one hand. Anyway, ooh, that was a nice move. That was a good first points of the season. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We don't have a backup center right now, so that's why I wanted to trade away all these really bad power forwards, and trust me, they're bad. But we went after Birdman, and oh my gosh, look at that block from Chandler Parsons. Oh my, okay, sorry, back on track. Getting Birdman was crucial for our team's, I don't know, just our overall play style, because we would have had Pekovic and no backup center. So Birdman, of course. We also got Mike Miller in this trade, who is really going to help with our three-point shooting, which we really lack in. And we gave up Carlos Delfino, who was also a three-point shooter. But Mike Miller is a better shooter, first of all, and he's more athletic, even though he probably has a lower athleticism rating than Delfino. I'm not sure. But we gave up Greg Smith and Terrence Jones. Greg Smith is just terrible. Don't even talk about him. But Terrence Jones, he was, I don't know, he had the potential to be something, but if we're going after Josh Smith and Dwight Howard, he's not going to have much room to play for the next couple years. We also got a first-round pick for 2014 from the Heat, which, I mean, that's going to be probably the 29th or 30th overall pick. But it'll help us still get just a good player for the bench, whatever we might need at that time. The next move that we made was we signed Steven Jackson on a 2-year, $6 million deal because we were missing a sixth man. We had a good starting lineup. Well, not good. They were solid, decent. I don't know. But the next best player off the bench was Mike Miller. So we needed to sign somebody, and we needed more shooting, which is what Steven Jackson brings. He's also a pretty smart player, and he's a decent all-around defender. I signed him for 2 years instead of just the 1, because he can come in and back up for Chandler Parsons for either year. And I don't know, he's relatively cheap, so might as well have a guy like him coming off the bench. And he'll be a great role player if we don't get a sixth man for next year. Excuse me. And the last move that you saw was Francisco Garcia for the Hornets' second-round pick for this year. Now, Francisco Garcia was not going to get a whole lot of minutes off the bench, and he was taking away minutes from Mati Yunus, who I really want to develop into our backup center. And well, like he was worth a second-round draft pick. Might as well just pick one up. But all I was looking for in that trade was a pick, so I got what I was looking for. Now, there's one more move that I make at the end of this video that could be a little bit controversial, but I think it's a good all-around deal. I ended up trading Jeremy Lin and our second-round pick for this year for Goran Dragic. Now, Lin is a great guy and an okay player, but for this team, he's a terrible fit. He's not the most athletic guy, and he's a pass-first player. We don't need a pass-first player when we have James Harden on the floor. Offense is going to run through James Harden no matter who's there. We needed a guy who can come in and be more of a spot-up shooter, or somebody who can come in and drive to the basket and finish when they need to. Dragic can do this. Jeremy Lin can't really do it. You saw him hit a nice jumper from the corner earlier, but he was missing a whole lot of shots, and he was not finishing around the basket this whole game. Now, Dragic, he's worth $7.5 million over the next 3 or 4 years. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but we can potentially, after this offseason, try to move him. And Jeremy Lin, actually, he had a bigger contract than Dragic, so that's going to help with our cap space for next year. I think we already have $23 million in cap space for next year, and we have a few expiring contracts. I think that's really all that we have talking about all the moves that we made. So now let's just get into the gameplay. We were down this whole game, and I could not make a comeback. The Pistons were completely destroying me, as you can tell. Jeremy Lin here. That's one of the few shots that he made. This whole game, I couldn't stop this guy right here. I think he ended up with 35 points, a game-high 35 points. And on back-to-back possessions, he gets wide open, fast break dunks. And as you can see, going into the fourth quarter, we're down 14. James Harden was the only consistent player this whole game, but that's probably because he took 26 shots, and I don't think anybody else was in double digits in scoring. But Pekovic had a really good game. He had a few good offensive rebounds. There's Brandon Knight again with a ridiculous shot. They were hitting ridiculous shot after ridiculous shot this whole game. I really like James Harden because he can do that. He has a 6-year contract because he got traded, then signed a contract extension with Houston. And I really think that he's one of the few players that's worth the money he's getting paid. That's the reason why we got Miller, by the way. He can drain those threes like no other. Calderon was destroying me with the mid-range jumpers. And again, Brandon Knight, 31 points at this point of the game. This game, I got pretty frustrated until I got to the point where I knew I couldn't win. And here you can see it's about the end of the game. The one thing that I feel that we really got destroyed on this game was second chance points. They destroyed us on the offensive rebounds. Like, seriously, every time they would miss, we couldn't get a defensive rebound. And Thomas Robinson has a 90 defensive rebound, and Pekovic has, I think it's somewhere in the high 70s for defensive rebound. But we got destroyed on offensive rebounds. And I'm not one to really complain about a game, but I kind of am. So, yeah, this game's offensive rebounding is completely broken. I've been playing it since it came out, and they still have not fixed it. Here you can see the box score. I can't quite read the second chance points, but it was terrible. So, here's the trade that I made, and if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and comment anything else that you want, and we will see you guys later.